Hi there. I have another letter here from one of my viewers that I'd like to read to you. It's quite a interesting letter. I'll see what you think of it. I'd like to share it with you. Here, I'll just read it to you real quick. Dear Ron, about 15 years ago, I went to high school. I lived about 3 miles away from high school, but every night after, or every afternoon after school, I'd ride home with my sister. But there was one afternoon that my sister had an appointment, so I had to walk home. And then when I started walking home, I realized that I had to go to the bathroom, number two. Do you know what number two is, boys and girls? It's poo-poo. It's the brown stuff. And for you adults out there, it's shit. S-H-I shit. Here, I'll continue. I realized I had to go number two, but I thought I could hold it in, so I kept walking. And about every 30 feet that I took, I had to stop because I thought it might come out of my ass, and I had cramps. And then I continued to walk. Finally, I made it home. Then I realized I didn't have the key because my sister had the key to the door. So I found a window that was unlocked, and I crawled through the window and just made it to the toilet in time, and then it just came right out. And then after I took the dump, I looked in the toilet after I took the dump to see how big to see how big it was, and it was about 14 inches long and about 4 inches wide, and I realized that it wouldn't flush down the toilet, that the toilet would overflow, and then I'd have a lot of problems with shit all over the floor. So I didn't know what to do. So I went outside and got a branch off a tree, a little stick. Then I came inside and chopped the piece of turd up. You know what a turd is, boys and girls? A turd is a accumulation of shit that's kind of lumped together, like a cigar, like the mothership. Anyway, I came in with a stick and chopped the turd up into little pieces, and then I flushed it. I still had to flush the toilet about 5 times to get all the shit down, and then I had a stick full of shit, and I wasn't sure what to do with the stick. Would you know what to do with a stick of shit, boys and girls? I wasn't sure what to do with it. I couldn't put it in the garbage in the house because then my parents would smell it and look at it and wonder where it came from. And I couldn't put it in the garbage can outside. So I went outside and I decided to fling it over to the fence or over the fence to the neighbor's house. Let them deal with it. And all these years I felt bad that I threw a stick of shit over to the neighbor's yard, and I'm not sure if I should tell them about it or not, but I want to ease my conscience. Just wanted to get your advice on it, Ron. Sincerely, Karen. Well, Karen, first of all, none of this would have happened if you weren't so full of shit. Oh, I can hold it. I don't have to go, why don't you go to school before you left? Take a dump or go to the service station on the way home. But no, you're special. You can hold the shit. It's not going to come out of your butt. Then you've got this stick. Instead of doing the right thing, you could have scooped the shit up, scooped that big turd up, put it in a blender, put some water into the blender, mix it up, liquefy it, shitify it, and then dump it down the toilet, flush the toilet, and go into the kitchen, wash the blender. You wouldn't have to deal with a stick of shit. But no, you decided not to do it that way. For 15 years, Karen, your neighbors have been terrorized. Why do we have a stick of shit in the yard? What is it, a hate crime? Does someone hate us and they fling a piece of shit Over in the yard on a stick? It's not dog shit. Dog shit you can understand. What's that on the yard? Oh, it's the neighbor's dog. He took a dump on the yard. That's normal. But it isn't normal, boys and girls, to find human shit on a stick in the yard. It's unnatural. Where'd it come from? Your neighbors have wondered for years. Well, did a UFO drop it? Why do we have to live with a piece of shit? I know the dilemma you're in, Karen. You're thinking, well, after all these years, they're going to think you're stupid they're going to think that you're stupid to tell them now, and you should have told them earlier. They're not going to think the same of you. They're going to think you're full of shit. My advice to you, Karen, is to keep an eye on their yard, and every time you find a piece of dog shit on their yard, pick it up for them. And after about 35, sacks of shit, you'll be even, baby. Boys and girls, where do you come up with this shit at? I've got better things to do than spend my time talking about shit. Don't say to me horseshit stuff like this. My time's valuable. Get a grip. What a pack of losers.